Men capable of leadership in Poland must be liquidated. Those who follow them must be liquidated in their turn. There is no need to send these elements to concentration camps in the Reich.
So began the mass killings, the first of millions. After the murder of Poland, the blitzkrieg is switched against the West. Denmark, Norway, Belgium, Holland, all are raped.
The violation of the neutrality of the Netherlands and Belgium is unimportant. No one will question it when victory is won.
Now it is the turn of the French people to suffer. Interlude. The Führer meets Il Duce in Munich. Mussolini is anxious not to miss his share of the plunder. At Hitler's orders, the armistice is signed in the same railway coach that was used when the Germans signed their surrender in 1918, at the same spot in the forest at Compiègne. Revenge is sweet. London, September 1940. Britain is bombed nightly with terrible hurt. At the same time, packs of U-boats threaten Britain's lifelines in the Atlantic. So Britain is cut off, alone.
England's situation is hopeless. The war has been won by us. A reversal of the prospects of success is impossible.
The great warlord is wrong. British fighters blast Goering's Luftwaffe out of the daylight sky. Operation Sea Lion, the invasion of Britain, is postponed. At his headquarters, Hitler confers with his high command, or rather gives them orders. The military genius tells his generals,
the German armed forces must be prepared to crush Soviet Russia in a quick campaign before the end of the war against England.
Since the summer of 1940, Hitler has been planning an all-out attack on Soviet Russia, despite their pact. But before he can put Operation Barbarossa into action, he must protect his rear. The horizon does not look bright. Despite all the swift German victories in Europe, Mussolini has suffered humiliating defeat by the British in North Africa. In Britain, the British people still stand firm. In Spain, Franco will give no aid. So to force his hand, Hitler speeds to a meeting on the Spanish frontier. Did he not help Franco in his civil war? But although the dictators confer for 9 hours, despite all the friendly smiles and handshakes for the newsreel cameras, Franco does not commit himself to enter the war. Next, the aged Pétain signs a treacherous agreement. Yet he too will not agree to France going to war against Britain. Then in Florence, Hitler finds that his friend Mussolini has moved behind his back and invaded Greece, only to meet with defeat. So before launching his attack on Russia, the Führer invades Yugoslavia and Greece. Operation Barbarossa is put back by 4 weeks. Bulgaria, Romania, and Hungary have all become German satellites. The swastika is now hoisted over the Acropolis in Athens. The warlord is soon to set up his new headquarters, the Wolfschanze, or Wolf's Lair, near Rustenburg in a remote forest in East Prussia. From here, he conducts the strategy of the great battle against Russia. On a 1,000-mile front from the Baltic to the Black Sea, the German divisions attack. The Russians burn all they leave behind, so that nothing of value should fall into the hands of the invader. Scorched earth, they call it. Russian prisoners are taken by the thousand. Says Reichsmarschall Goering,
in the camps for Russian prisoners, they have begun to eat each other. This year, between 20 and 30 million persons will die of hunger in Russia. Perhaps it is as well that this should be, because certain nations must be wiped out.
Within 3 months, it looks certain that Russia's 2 greatest cities, Moscow and Leningrad, must fall. Says the warlord in a moment of triumph,
we have only to kick in the door, and the whole rotten structure will come crashing down.
And is not the Führer always right? But neither city falls. The Red Army fights back with a ferocity that the German armies have not met before. The whole campaign is 4 weeks behind plan. Those fatal 4 weeks lost when Hitler massacred Yugoslavia and Greece. The grim Russian winter bogs down the German armies, up till now invincible. Hitler's troops are without proper clothing or equipment. The military genius had neglected to plan for a winter campaign. At the Wolfschanze, the warlord sacks some of his generals and takes over as commander-in-chief himself. He explains.
This little matter of operational command is something that anyone can do. The task of commander-in-chief is to train the army in a national socialist way. I know of no general who could do it as I want it done. So I have decided to take over the command myself.
December the 7th, 1941. Out of a clear sky, Japan attacks the United States at Pearl Harbor in the Pacific. 4 days later, the Fuhrer declares war on America. A vast new power is now to be reckoned with.